This is the Toy Pick Community Top 10 for December 2nd, 2022.
What is going on, Toy Pick Community? Welcome to the Toy Pick Community Top 10 for December 2nd, 2022. This is our second episode of the TPC Top 10 on this YouTube channel, and we have an amazing set of photos to go over with you today. So let's get to some introductions. I have with me today. Yeah, look, I'm getting my pointing right. So there's my co-host here. So this is Toy Father over on Instagram. Hello there, Chris. How are you today?
Good. How you doing, Yimbo?
Oh, fantastic, dude. Anytime I get to talk with toys with one of my close buddies, like, this is a good day. This is a good day.
It's always a good day when we're talking about toys and we're talking about the top 10. Am I right?
Yes, sir. That's it. Now, I will throw out that our fellow toy daddy, No Chewing, our friend Santi, is not with us tonight, but he will be for future streams. So this is the benefit of having a three-man booth. So Chris and I will be taking, going through, the top 10. He's going to take 10 through 6, and I'll take 5 through 1. And what's next, Chris? You hit me with it because I'm off script already.
Well, you know what? Each week we'll be reviewing the Toy Pick Community Top 10. Not only will we be celebrating all the photos in the top 10, we'll also be getting to know some of the people behind the camera. We've reached out to each photographer and asked them 3 questions. 1, what is your favorite toy growing up? 2, what's the story behind your picture? And 3, what is making you happy in the toy community right now? So, Yimbo, put on that seatbelt. Hold on to your hats. So let's get into the top 10 Toy Pick Community for this week, December 2nd, 2022.
All right. Well, here we go. In the future, we'll do some sound effects, but right now I can go 10, 10, 10. Welcome. This is Homemade Galaxy. Boom.
Homemade Galaxy. Look at this picture. What an incredible picture in terms of just depth. I mean, we've talked about depth a lot in these pictures, but wow, look at this. I love when they do, I think it's a low aperture. Yeah, low aperture typically when you have these photos where the forefront is like really focused and the background's kind of blurred.
Sure. Yeah.
I love this.
And it's great, yeah, because in the bokeh, you can still generally make out those other 2 Star Wars characters, right? Like, at least you have an idea of which Mandalorians you're dealing with, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also super into, because I struggle with digital effects myself. So when I see someone able to add in flames like that to that extent, like, that's a magical editing right there. And I'm assuming it is digital. Like, if it's practical, then my mind is blown totally. But just absolutely stellar editing work on this too. And I love the little gleams and glints that they put in and like where they hit, like on the armor. Just really, really well done.
Yeah, I mean, just to piggyback on what you were just saying, like, not only did they digital effect that fire, but they somehow did the lighting so well, so it looks like the light of the fire is coming from that direction, right?
Yeah.
So if it is digital, or it's most likely digital, because that can't be real. That lighting is artificial that they made intentionally to look like the fire coming up over them.
Yeah. And look at even the ground, the textures of the ground and the dirt, and it's a really, just from top to bottom, this is a really well done shot.
Oh yeah, look at that. Something about like a great focused ground is amazing.
It really is. It's one of those very subtle, but when I notice something like that, it's so appreciated. Because it's something I struggle with, that's why I made a whole like street, but it pales in comparison to like when you get to see stuff like this. Oh, it's a really well done.
What is this? Is this a Black Series? This is not the Beskar one, obviously. This is like the very first like Mando before he gets his upgrades. But do you think this is a Black Series? It must be a Black Series.
I guess so, but like, I mean, when it comes to the Black Series and honestly, a lot of the Mandalorian figures, it gets really hard to tell. Like, I mean, like, I love the Mando that you had hooked me up with, and it is leaps and bounds better than the Black Series. But I had that Black Series one for so long, and really, it's a tremendous figure. So the Black Series, when it comes to Mandalorians especially, it's really hard to tell.
Well, In terms of Homemade Galaxy, we asked him some questions. The first one, what was your favorite toy growing up? He said, my favorite toys growing up were my Kenner Star Wars figures. My brother and I always were playing with them. Transitioning to the Black Series and discovering toy photography was the way to bring my kids in on that fun that I had. That's awesome.
That is great.
Way to bring your children in. It's kind of funny, not funny, but how amazing it is, like the evolution of toys and how they evolve with your life too. So like, the fact that you grew up with these Kenner toys, now that you're growing up or your kids are growing up with the Black Series toys, and you get to see that that merges.
It's so neat. It is. It's again, being a toy daddy is awesome. It's not just us. If you're a toy, if you like toys and you're a daddy, there you go. Toy daddy.
Reliving your childhood through your kids, of course.
It is. It's awesome.
Question 2: what's the story behind your picture? I wanted Death Watch Mandalorian since he was announced for release, but it took a long time to finally pick one up. I weathered him up and placed him in a combat situation similar to what we saw in season 1 of The Mandalorian. Awesome.
That's great. And you know what? The weathering, that was the difference. That was what was making us speculate on, which line it was, because I know that you and I are still very nervous about doing things with our toys, but when people do it, when I see it like this, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is. He did a great job.
Yeah.
Number 3, what is making you happy in the toy community right now? My personal life is quite busy at the moment. We can relate. Mm-hmm. So I'm not as active in the community as I once was, but toy photography remains a way for me to wind down and have some fun with my kids. That's awesome. And I love the way that he integrates his children, and, it's a hobby and kid time. So it's like, two birds with one stone right there.
Yeah.
Hey, good on you to effectively manage your hobby and your family.
It's wonderful. I love to hear those things. That's great.
I know.
Oh, so really well done. So Homemade Galaxy, congratulations on coming in number 10. You ready to move on to number 9?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Oh, this is so good.
Rare Sook's Toys. Amazing. Now, what is Black Cat on? Is that what is that?
Dude, I couldn't tell you. I remember the first time I saw this picture, and I did the whole pinch and zoom to try to figure out, wait, what is that? It's not Spider-Ham, right?
No.
I don't think. So I have no idea. I would love if if they can let us know on maybe commenting on the toy pick, on it, just to let people know what it is, because that's amazing.
I was just trying to read in his answers to see if he explains what it is, but he doesn't.
Okay.
But yeah, what it reminded me of was one of those bouncy toys that your kids hang up on and sit on it and just bounce around in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought. But I love this. We don't get enough Black Cat photos, and I thought this was really playful, really fun. Again, the background is really nice. I don't know how he did that. In terms of just the blurry background like that.
I do know that there's apps, because I've tried to mess with it with stuff like that, but once again, I can't pull it off like this. It's so well done. So it might be a mask that is in some of the apps that you can add in, or it could have been specifically placed around those bokeh dots, bokeh dots.
Bokeh dots.
But man, I mean, that Spider-Man toy, the pose, and then obviously with the cat, and then the jewels and the money, just it is a perfectly playful Felicia shot. It's exactly what I would imagine coming home. I got one over on Pete. I came home with the goods, and now I'm just gonna enjoy, because she's still a fan of Peter. She's still a Spider-Man fan. So I love it.
And so simple. This is such a simple photo, and yet he nailed it.
Yeah.
So in terms of what was his favorite toy growing up, Rare Sook's Toy says, I'm 40 years old right now. Awesome. Join the club.
Yep.
When I was a kid, toys weren't as good as they are nowadays. I started collecting Spider-Man when I was 20 years old, but when I was a kid, my favorite toys were Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and GI Joes.
Mm.
Being uh, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle line, I liked more in talking about my favorite, and talking about it was my favorite. It was my favorite was sorry. My favorite was Donatello in Disguise from the Vintage Collection. Oh,
Oh, that's a
okay.
good one. That's a good one.
That is a good one. What's the story behind your picture? Well, Felicia Hardy, aka Black Cat, is my favorite female character from Marvel Comics. I wanted to give her a very sexy look as she is in the comics. Sometimes the figure we get from the toy covers are not as great as the character looks in the comics. And in this case, I had to modify her head, adding a 3D printed hair and better makeup. Oh,
I
wow.
thought something. Oh yeah. Now I'm looking up at mine. Yes, I thought that there was something different, or maybe it was a different version of the figure. But that's awesome. Okay.
And also improving some articulations to make her look better. Wow.
Nice.
That's, yeah. I guess, yeah, that posing is great.
Yeah.
What is making you happy in the toy community right now? What I like a lot right now are two things: the unity and support that we get within the community, like sharing posts, sharing experience with figures, having sessions, and also, why not, the giveaway sessions. The and B, the behind the scenes videos that some content creators do. This is a great way we can learn some new techniques and help us improve our photos and share how we do our photos. Absolutely agree. I love the BTS stuff. I love
Yeah.
when it shows the camera settings and you're like, oh, that's how they did it. But really, it's not so much the camera settings that help, it's like the setup, how you do
Yeah.
the lighting. I
Mhm.
mean, you can get a BTS, but you don't necessarily capture the magic that that person actually did in that moment.
Right.
You have to make your own magic.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true. So, really wonderful shot. Congratulations again on coming in ninth place this past week. Really well done. Right, that was all three questions.
Yes.
Now we're moving on to number eight. Number
Eight.
eight. Here we go.
Air Big Toy. Air
This
Big
is great.
Toys. I think it's Air Big Toys. I forgot the S
Nice.
there. But wow, look at this. Look at this Predator. This has to be a NECA. Or no, is this the Mezco? I don't even know.
Oh man.
But it looks incredible. And what a iconic kind of uh characterization or photo of Predator, right? Coming
Oh
out of the
yeah.
water,
Mhm.
like his image is kind of distorted and like coming out of the camouflage.
Right.
So cool. So cool.
Again, really amazing digital edits on this because like like when I see things that, like I said, I've either attempted or it's like stuff like this, especially in the toy photography world. Like that's why it's just so mind blowing, and it's not a matter of like I just like wow, like that's just like I know what goes into this stuff, and just wow, so just really excellent editing.
So good.
Yeah.
So, for Ear Big Toys, what was your favorite toy growing up? For him, you can relate, Yimbo.
Mhm.
Definitely G.I. Joe. I was so into them. They were definitely a big part of my motivation to serve in the military also.
Thank you for
Hey,
your service. Yeah.
thank you for your service. I respect that.
Hmm.
What's the story behind your picture? Well, I wanted to recreate or redo the Predator water emerge scene from the very first movie, but
Mm,
not just the Predator coming out of the water slowly. I wanted to make him look like he was about to throw down or something like that. And I started editing the pic, and it was a very simple photo to begin with. Just throw some mist with a spray bottle, but I kept adding stuff to it, and it turned out pretty good, I think. Well,
yeah.
pretty great, I think.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I came in eighth place. This is this is like even the splashing of the water in that
Yeah,
circular, it's like spiral. Ah,
so good.
killer, killer.
Number three, what is making Air Big Toys happy in the toy community right now? I've been around this hobby for 6 years now. I've never really participating with the toy community that much. I mean, I have a couple friends, and I was interacting with, but just a few. Now I'm a little more into the toy community, meeting new friends, and what is really making me happy is seeing other veterans doing toy photography as therapy. That's the main reason I do it. So no doubt it makes me happy.
That's awesome. And I know that, Toy Father and I, we are on the quest to make toys universally cool and acceptable for everyone because we all secretly love them. And yeah, like, I mean, I've absolutely found a lot of inner peace and happiness escaping into this hobby and like digging into the skill set and the figures and just everything. So much appreciated. And it's a great cause to keep again, raising that flag, toys are awesome.
I think it's from his last question. It's so wonderful to see such a niche of toy collectors getting together with toy photography, right? But not only that, veterans who served in our military also doing toy photography. What an even smaller niche, but he found it, and it's incredible. Amazing. So this community is incredible. I love it.
Yeah, it's the power of the internet, man. Like, it's the good of the internet is bringing people together. It's fantastic.
100%.
All right. So again, congratulations on coming in 8th place. And now we're up to 777. Here we go.
Keep it going.
Intergalactic _ Raptor.
What, that movie, that song? Intergalactic Raptor, number 7. Wow, look at this one. I mean, when you see the nominations for Toy Pick Community each week, when one of them pops up, you're like, oh, that's gonna be in the top 10. When this one popped up, I was like, this is gonna be in the top 10.
Yeah.
Amazing. Honestly, it's been a long time since I've seen ET, so I don't remember ET that much, nor it didn't really impact me as much as other movies did, like other people.
Right.
But there's something magical about this picture that just reminds me. It feels like it was from the movie itself. I don't even know if this is a scene from the movie, but it feels like the movie. Like the lighting, just looks like it was made from the movie.
I mean, look, from the lighting coming, like this diorama setup.
Oh gosh!
I mean, it's mind blowing. This is a bedroom, or like a playroom or a living room. Like, this is gorgeous. It might be a dollhouse. It's so good. I mean, the blinds, it's like the little details that catch my eye.
Yeah, the blinds that are like crazy. They're not even like they're crooked,
right? Which would totally make sense. Like, again, I haven't watched ET in many years, but I did own it on VHS. So I watched it like, I have enough of it where I can remember things. Plus, we just saw a meme today of about maybe ET being a Jedi. Did you see that today?
I did not see that.
It's very good. It's very good. It basically implies that Yoda and ET at one point had hung out. It's a whole thing, but it's very cute. But man, like, so that jogged my memory. So now getting to see this shot and seeing it all play out, and just like the beauty, the innocence, the simplicity, the play, like, you can really see him studying the Millennium Falcon there, seeing how things work, the rest of the toys on the table. I mean, this is chef kiss work. This is beautiful.
It makes me think what the scale of this ET is, because those have to be mini toys or mini brands, right?
I'm assuming the NECA one, right? Wouldn't this be didn't NECA just come out with an ET?
Yeah, I don't know what the scale is on that, but it just looks incredible. The fact that he has a fully scaled diorama, or it's just photography tricks of like depth and whatnot, but even the table is like big enough to fit ET. This is amazing.
I know. This is really well done. Like, it is. It's just one of those shots you just have to kind of don't know words. Just study it, look at it. You can learn a lot just picking it apart with your eyes.
Well, we talked about last week a lot of just about the details. This executes details just tremendously. So for Intergalactic Raptor, what was his favorite toy growing up? Well, tough one to think of my favorite toys growing up. I'd say it was probably the Mantaforce Red Viper, if you remember that. It was really cool. Okay. I don't know what that is.
I'm not sure either. I'm sorry. I don't pretend to know all the toys in the world.
I don't know what that is, but I'm going to look it up and find this out. What's the story behind your picture? my story behind the picture was based on the scene in the movie where Elliot is introducing ET to Star Wars toys. Oh wow.
That's great.
For a while, I misremembered in almost a Mandela effect situation that ET levitated the toys, which he obviously didn't. So I think it would have been fun to make it happen. Oh wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
What's making you happy in the toy pick community right now? What's making me happy in toy photography community right now is that my collaboration chat group, Caleb Bunga, good one, it's fun discussing new ideas, crafting, and figures. I'm also looking forward to seeing people's fun Christmas toy photos.
Amazing.
One last look, everyone. Just soak it in.
That's just really well done. So again, congratulations, Intergalactic_Raptor. Just keep up the great work because that's stellar. stellar. Are we ready for number 6?
Six.
Here we go. Boom.
Oh, nice. Android action figures.
Wow. All right. Unbelievable. Keep it
I
going.
mean, this is like a movie poster right here.
Yep.
Especially with the new trailer that dropped for Beast. Is it called Beast Kingdom?
Yeah,
Beast Wars.
Yo, I'm just in my head. I just call it Beast Wars, but
Yeah,
whatever it is called, you're right. It's definitely topical, and it could
Beast
absolutely
Wars.
be a poster. Yeah,
Beast Wars.
Okay.
One of my favorite cartoons, like growing up. Loved it. Even growing up, I was like in high school when it came out, and I watched it. I watched it every day.
That's all right. Look what we're doing now at 40, man. We never stopped.
I loved it. But yeah, wow. The editing on this, but also the fact that he got a nice sprawling ensemble photo with all of these toy figures is incredible.
Yep. I'm once again incredibly impressed with the editing. One of the things that I know that I've struggled with in the past is if you're using an all like green screen or digital backdrop, it can be hard with the foot placement. And when you look at how that, like I don't want to call it like the mound, the circular mound, right? That it's that all those characters are on. They are all hitting it perfectly, like exactly where it comes. And that's if it is, if it's digital background, that bottom part at least. But either way, this is a spectacular job. Like, a lot of great editing and so far in this set in these series.
I mean, I can like feel like the time that he put in to like edit everything, whether it was on his phone or iPad, whatever.
Right. I mean, like every character's eyes, and then different key components of the robot, like the lit up the inside of Optimus's gun. Tremendous.
Well, for him, what was your favorite toy growing up? My favorite toy growing up, I think, was an Optimus Prime called Robot Masters. If I remember that correctly, I think that was my favorite Optimus Prime as well. It was an Optimus Prime that had like a separate head that you would like pin on. You would turn, like he'd have a smaller Optimus Prime, but then you turn him into a box, and then you'd put him into the trailer that he was towing. And that became the body for Optimus Prime. And then you have the separate head that you put on as Optimus Prime. And you had this big Optimus Prime. I love that toy. I played it with it so much because it gave me like this ultimate Optimus Prime that I loved.
Yeah.
What's the story behind your picture? Well, I made this photo because I love to recreate art from packaging. Oh, okay. Posters or movie scenes. In this case, I recreated the art from the Transformers Kingdom line a year ago since I had it in mind. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That's what all the feels that we were having.
Yeah.
What is making you happy in the toy community right now? What makes me happy is the thanks to this community. I've met so many nice people and I've learned from them and their photo styles, figures, etc. Awesome. Great job, Android.
And thank you. I know we're halfway through now, our second episode, but the fact that people have been giving us such like thoughtful and well written and just like the answers. Thank you guys so much for putting in that, taking that time to get back to us. And it enhances this stream. It gets, again, people to know the person behind the camera. So thank you very much for all of these answers so far.
Yeah.
I know we're only halfway through, but
no, but yeah, you're absolutely right. It's an appropriate time to kind of insert that. Like when we first started this, we're like, hey, let's ask them 3 questions and then, talk about the photo and have them, I didn't really realize how powerful it was until we started doing this. Like I love finding out the answers to these questions. I love talking about the photos, and I love this positivity that we're getting from all of you in terms of the thoughtfulness of your answers.
So thank you, everyone. And now this is we're gonna go into number 555. And now this was not meant to be this. I didn't mean to line it up like this. I was just trying to hit it at the halfway point. But for number 5, we have Hyuraron. I'm sure I butchered that. And that's something else that, Chris and I, and even Santi in spirit today, want to let you know is that we are genuinely trying to get everybody's names and handles right. We're doing the best we can. So by all means, if we've ever mispronounced anything, please reach out, so the next time you get featured, we'll be able to pronounce it correctly. So just want to throw that out. And then the other thing I wanted to point out is that unfortunately, this was one of Santi's people that he reached out to, and we hadn't heard back. So it's okay. It was not meant to, it was just timing of what we were trying to, just show appreciation for people. So Hyuraron, again, I'm doing my best. If you would like to comment these answers on your Toy Pick community post upon watching this, if you do happen to check it out, that would be really awesome. Again, letting the community get to know you even more. So I have to tell you, Chris, when I saw this shot, it's another one of those mind-bending, mind-numbing, like this is realistic perfection. I don't know how you even make a 1/12 scale carved apple. Like, how does one even make that? Do you?
I don't know.
Because this is the big deluxe Mezco Wolverine, right? So this is yeah. I mean,
it doesn't come with that, does it?
No, I can't imagine it did.
It has so many accessories. I wouldn't be surprised if this was one of them.
Oh man, like the things I want to point at. So again, like the apple being carved, that's just, it's mind blowing. Maybe my wife could figure it out, but I don't know. Like, I'm not crafty like that. The lighting and the shadowing also jumped out to me instantly. Like, this is Logan chilling in just like a farmhouse or in the country, like that's the vibes I'm getting. But he's about to go run out and battle Sabretooth, so he needs to get a little snack in his tummy. Like that's how I kind of read the story of this picture.
Snack in his tummy.
Yeah,
no, I totally agree with you. Look at the natural. It looks like natural lighting. It probably isn't. Yeah. Coming from the window. Look at like the shadowing right there. Yeah, that is like incredible. So I remember seeing this picture before it was even nominated, and I was a big fan of. I am a big fan of Hyuraron, and all of his pictures have like subtle like toys doing normal things,
right.
And you're absolutely right. Look again, let's go to details. Look at the details. Look at the like flowers and greenery outside the window.
Even like that it's not just like my thumbprint on a window pane that's 1/12 scale. That looks like natural buildup of outdoor, like just like how you have to clean the windows in your house. Like that's what it looks like. It's that style, not like, oh no, my big thumbs got like that's amazing. It's so blown away.
Yeah, this is an incredible photo. I mean, just the basket of fruit. And you're right. What really brings it together is that carved apple. Wow.
Oh my God. I mean, like really, like without it, it would have still been gorgeous with all of the other elements, but the carved apple just.
I mean, if I were to if I were to be able to do something like this, I would retire. I'd end on this photo.
That's it. I'm done. I've reached my peak.
Exactly. I wouldn't be able to do anything better.
Yep. So congratulations, Hayuraran, for coming in 5th place last week. Really well done, and continue the great work. And now we are going to move on to number four. So this is Intangible Dandy. Oh man, this is another beautiful
Boy.
shot. I still regret not having any of these big boy legends like the Sentinel and Galactus. But I get to enjoy them through pictures like this. Like, this is stellar. I'm just checking. That is not the retro Doom. Which Doom is that? Is that a Toy Biz Doom?
I wonder if that's a 3/4 inch Doom.
Oh wow.
Because
Interesting. Okay.
because he looks, that Galactus looks huge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like really huge.
That's a good point. We'll have to get into his answers and see. But what great choices. I love the centered composition of this one because, like the rule of thirds, like that's like the very common photography term. But it's always one of those things that it's a golden rule, but that it's like meant to be broken, like art for artistic choices. And like centering like this with Doom, and because Galactus is, fallen in the bokeh back there, your attention gets drawn in. You look at it was a beautiful compositional choice. That's what I just wanted to say.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. It tells a story of like Doom just did something to Galactus, and Galactus is down.
Yeah.
And the fact that he was able to, or they were able to execute this so well, again, using that aperture, low aperture, so that you get that blurry backgrounds. It's just incredible. And that crisp foreground of Doom. Oh,
and I love the facial, this Doom being a badass. like I just love it. The big, frown in there. Like it's everything about it. Once again, deserved of a top 10 place for this week because it's just excellent. So
just one other thing. I really need to get down like the walking away pose. Like the posing on this is great. Like he looks like he's walking away.
Yep. And I have always said in my time, 2.5 years now of being a toy photographer, what I always struggle with is like just the natural posing comes off, like just a walk, a strut. It's really hard to pull off on a toy to make it look as natural and lifelike as it's pulled off here. So really well done. So in terms of Intangible Dandy, for the first question about favorite toy growing up, probably Secret Wars Wolverine, which I think I still have over there with the snickety. Oh no, that's one with the snap-on claws, right? Wolverine was my favorite character, and that toy was really cool and still is. In terms of the story for this picture, this is a recreation from the 1980 Secret Wars comic book. The arrogance of Dr. Doom. That was the word I was trying to think of. The arrogance of Dr. Doom is always fun to capture in toy photography. And I did this using a Marvel Legends figure a couple of weeks earlier. This time using a smaller figure, Chris, well done, from the old Marvel Universe line. I think I captured the scale a bit better. Look at you with the eye. I love it. And now lastly, like, what's making him happy right now, or making them happy. I still love seeing all the fun and creativity in the toy community. There are still people who are new to this hobby. Very true. And a lot of us found it because it brought us joy. Seeing that joy and the creativity that comes from that joy always makes me happy. So thank you. And hey, Intangible Dandy, thank you for your answers, for your artwork, and thanks for that fantastic attitude, because that's the stuff that we love and appreciate. So great work. All right. Are you good, Chris? Anything else to add for this one, or we're moving on to number three?
Let's get to 3.
All right.
Let's get to 3. I'm a big fan of this guy.
Oh, no, there we go. Dead Spider Toys coming in at number 3. Do you want to kick things off? I know you've been very excited pre-show.
Dead Spider Toys is one of my favorites. I mean, it's no surprise that I like Spider-Man, or I love Spider-Man, but he is able to capture Spider-Man in the most amazing cinematic scenes. This being one of them. Look at this. Gwen on, first of all, like sometimes I can't tell whether it's digital what's digital and what's actual, like
Yeah.
diorama. Like,
Right.
look at that. It looks like a real picture. And I think that's
Yes.
what Dead Spider Toys does really well. There's this like the way he captures his photos, it feels like it's in between a toy photo slash in between real life.
Mhm.
And it's so incredible, and the lighting is great. He nailed it. Even the like the circle things that come from lights,
Yeah,
look
yeah.
at that. I love it. This is great.
Yeah,
Great photo.
and you're right, I can't tell because, like, I have, like, it's not really 1/12 scale, but it's like one of those wall mounted. I just haven't done it yet, but one of these, what's the word I'm looking
Fire
for? Fire
escape.
escapes? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You have that?
Um,
Okay.
I have like a smaller, but it doesn't work. Like it would be much shorter on Gwen. So I know
Oh,
that there are different ones. However, this could just be a case of really wonderful editing. And the bottom line is the fact that we can't tell is like that is the compliment that I hope that Spider Toys takes out of this. The fact that really, like, if you can't tell what went into it, it's just a beautiful image. Um,
it's
I mean,
crazy.
yeah. And Chris, like, there's really like you hit on all of the things that I would have pointed out. I mean, like, this is so cool, and I love the even again the artistic choices of Gwen being in the forefront, but not like it's the back
Hmm.
of her head. It's
Hmm.
through the style, like it's. I love that. It's just a unique. It's something you don't see very often,
Yeah.
and like Spidey being the hero and whatever, but like he's really smaller in the scale. It's just how cool, how cool.
Oh, so good.
It really is well done. So, Dead Spoiler Toys, congratulations on coming in number 3. As for the question, so favorite toy growing up, my toys have always been related to Spider-Man. So again, you're talking to two big Peter fans and well, Spidey fans in general. And it continued until now in the adult phase, right there with you. The photo, the story behind it is it's based on love and affection, both for the history of these characters with each other and for what I have for these characters that I grew up watching and consuming content. Very cool.
Oh, so cool.
Um, and then in terms of what makes them happy right now, I really appreciate the comments and feedback. It's a lovely, close knit community, a great place to de stress, and I'm loving it. Same sentiments again. Like I share them. That just it's so cool. I really do think toy photographers and toy collectors, but toy photographers too. Like we have that or little It's just it's a special group of people. It really is.
When like in the toy pick community, when you have like I'm like a huge fan of Dead Spider Toys.
Mhm.
So the fact that he wrote those answers and they're like so perfect, I'm like, wow, I love this guy even more.
That's it, man. Getting to know the people behind the cameras. That's what this is all about. This is why we're so honored to be able to do this, for the Toy Pick community. It's amazing. We're big fans. Um, so yeah, so enjoy everybody. Again, congratulations coming in number 3. And now we have our last 2 photos. So here comes number 2, 2,
Two.
2, 2. So toy_lens.
Yes.
Oh, this is just sick. This is sick. Bucky, Steve, just awesome work. I'm a big fan once again of this shot, like of all of these shots. This is, I feel like, a common theme that we're going to be reiterating ourselves and repeating ourselves quite a bit. But that's like these are the top 10 photos of the week in the toy pick community. Like, of course we're gonna love these. So this is another one. I mean, like down to the snow, like presumably fake snow, which I bought some at Target, but looks like the fake snow mixed with the digital effects. The posing obviously is just pure and perfect. I love Bucky's pose in particular. I mean, like the Cap
Yes.
one is classic, but Bucky just looking like he's in mid, swinging out from around the corner to pop behind Steve. Obviously Cap with the bullet reflections. Just stellar work.
Yeah,
Is
no, I totally sorry, go what were you just about to
Oh
say?
no, I was just gonna ask you because you usually have a better toy eye. Is that the old Toy Biz cap, or is that I never opened up my anniversary cap, the last one, so I
I
can't
thought
tell.
it was the anniversary cap.
Okay.
It looks like the anniversary cap, but you're right. The colors seem a little bit darker, so it could be the Toy Biz cap.
Mhm.
Um, but I want to say that that's the anniversary one,
Okay.
because of the posing.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
that's true. Right.
they did. I mean, Toylands did a great job here.
Mhm.
You're right. I think what I really love about this is the practicality, the
Mhm.
effects, the practical effects that they did. I love that like wall crack diorama thing.
Yeah, and that would be
So
that's an
cool.
interesting thing if that is a piece of a diorama or actual practical rock, you know, like that's
Yeah.
there, or like maybe somewhere outside. Like again, part of the fun of seeing toy photos is picking apart and trying to analyze like where did people get this and what was that made out of and where like that's half of the fun for me.
And what you said before, what makes this photo is the posing. The posing is
Mhm.
incredible. Look at this posing.
Yeah,
It just tells the story right
yeah.
here.
I mean, Bucky's straight up about to whip around. It's
Yeah,
so great. It's
so
so
cool.
to have that kinetic energy too on a standing pose because that's really like what it was. But to have that feel, oh, it's amazing. So let's get to the story behind it. But here, well, first we'll start up for the for toy underscore lens. Favorite toy growing up were action figures of all kinds. So right on, Iron Man, Captain America were my favorite. So there you go. And the story behind this picture, Cap and Winter Soldier are a great pair, love their friendship, sticking together no matter the odds, and trusting each other through thick and thin, and just wanted to capture that. Mission accomplished. Like really. Um, and then this is what makes them happy in the toy community. What I like most in the toy community is the level of support we all give one another. We support the very best of us to the least, always encouraging one another and giving helpful advice to improve one's craft. They aren't just toys for us, but a means to express our creativity and artistry. Another beautiful answer.
Yes,
Another beautiful answer.
great answer.
Um, yeah. Cool. So congratulations, toy underscore lens, for coming in second. And now we get to the top pick of the week, again, as voted on by the Toy Pick community Instagram audience. So here we go. It is number one.
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 Oh
Tabon underscore
gosh.
toys. Congratulations. I want to shout out Esteban because thank you for in our conversation. We were using translator apps, and that's something that Chris and I and Santi and I we're all very aware of. Like use translator apps to help each other. Because there's means to communicate now. So I wanted to thank Esteban for working with me to get these answers out there. But Chris, we want to take it away with some of the beautiful artistry that you're noticing here.
Yeah, I mean, I love it. This is obviously Donatello. I don't even know what figure this is.
I have no idea, but it's something.
Yeah, and for me, it reminded me, even though it's not, of the Last Ronin.
Yes.
Um, but we all know, spoiler alert, who the Last Ronin is, and it's not Donatello, so I won't
Right.
share that.
Right.
But just the fact that he's memorializing his brother's deaths, I mean, it tells this amazing story in what seems like an Armageddon slash, pre-apocalyptic like background that's in the
Yeah.
back.
Right.
It just says so much and it's incredible. And the figure, I'm like scratching my head on what this figure is because the articulation's amazing, the pose is great,
Uh-huh.
and the figure looks cool.
And I'm wondering now, like, were the joints and the things edited out, or is this like a seamless figure? What is this
Yeah.
toy? I have to figure this out.
What
Chris,
is
we're gonna
this
have to
toy?
do some post-stream researching.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to Google this one.
Yeah. But I really don't have anything else to add. Like again, just from the
So good.
perfect posing. And then like I like the other weapons and stuff scattered around at the bottom, but
The fog. Look
the
at the fog.
fog, man, and like just the getting the bandanas to all flow in that direction. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So Esteban, thank you so much. So for our first question, so his name is Esteban Salazar, better known as Esteban Toys. And for the first question, favorite toy was the Knights of the Zodiac. I liked it because of its armor and the same mold of the figure. Over time, I grew to like Spider-Man, and they gave me a figure stuffed with cotton. It wasn't even articulated. So Knights of the Zodiac. I'm going to have to Google that one too. In terms of this story, the story for this picture for number 2, I wanted to express melancholy and sadness for the loss that Donatello had with his 3 brothers for the Ninja Turtles. So it is, you nailed it. That's what he was going for, the loss of the 3 other brothers, and Donatello just steeped in sadness. Again, with posing and with the storytelling, you nailed it. I mean, like, there's no other way to look at that, you know? And then for our last question, what makes him happy? This hobby of photography of action figures makes me happy because I can recreate scenes, whether from comics or movies. I can manipulate them, I can play with them, give them more dynamicism, and I can learn new things every day. That's why it's so attention grabbing and why I enjoy action figures so much. So thank you very much to Bond Toys.
So good.
Amazing answers. Thank you again for getting to me. And just really thank you, everybody. Congratulations again for coming in first place. Chris, what do you want to do, man? You want to what are you where do we go from here, my friends?
Well, where we go from here is that you can always check out Toy Pick Community. This past week, we had some nominations, or this week going on right now, we have some nominations going on. Go on to Toy Pick Community, Instagram. Click subscribe on this YouTube channel if you haven't. That's all we're asking. We just ask you to click a button. We're not asking you to, give us money. We're just asking you to enjoy all of this content that we're giving you, and just doing that by clicking subscribe. One of the things that we're going to be doing this week is that Yimbo, Toy Father, No Chewing, we did some nominations for Toy Pick Community, and now next week we will be doing that top 10, and we can't wait to do that one
because we picked them. That's so neat.
It's
so neat.
We picked them.
Yep.
So again, thank you all for your support. This means so much to us to just have this great community supporting us, watching us, and we get to celebrate all of you. This is not about us, it's about you. We're so glad to be a part of it. So next week, join us for another Toy Pick Community Top 10. Yimbo, thanks so much.
Of course.
You take it easy.
And I will remind you before we go that there are on this channel other classic episodes of the Toy Daddies of Chris and I. If you enjoyed hearing us talk, we have plenty of other content on the Toy Pick channel. And before we go, we'll also shout out Toy Talk and my channel, Yimbo Reviews Everything. If you are being gracious with subbing, if you can throw a couple our way as well, that would be greatly appreciated. So thank you very much.
In the description, you can find all of our Instagram page links. You can find all of our YouTube page links, so it's easy for you just to navigate. All right, Yimbo, thanks a lot, buddy. No Chewing, we'll see you next week. We miss you, buddy. And all of you watching, thank you. Take it easy.
Peace.